Well, interestingly enough, was not one of my first picks, was actually really not on my radar screen. So I was thinking, I was going to play football for the University of Florida or the University of Georgia, something like that. Well, all of 150 pounds, nobody's really recruiting me. And so, but I had gotten an appointment to Naval Academy and met some of the football players there, and I thought, these guys are big. I don't know if I could play here. Well, my mother was a big fan of VMI. So on the way home, she said we ought to stop by VMI, which we did, and got a chance to meet the coach and some of the players, and I thought, God, I might be able to play for these guys. I walked on. Rat football was a great experience. I kind of had an idea, but even if somebody describes it to you, a verbal description just doesn't get it.
I'm responsible for the training and well-being of your sons and daughters.
It's tough, emotionally, physically. I mean, it's a shock. You ask yourself, what is it that keeps you there? And you think about that, and what I think about, what really kept me there was my relationships with my roommates and my brother rats in Bravo Company. That's why you're there. And that gets you through the Institute, is what it boils down to. This VMI experience, it carries you through your career. The most important, which gets glossed over, but it's probably the most important thing from a leadership perspective that you learn at VMI that people don't talk about. And it's the ability to lead your peers. And you get that in spades at VMI, because what happens there is, as a senior private, trying to get your VMI brother rats to do something, you better have your stuff together. And that serves you well in your career. It really does. As a captain, I was tagged to be the chief of operations for the 24th Infantry Division. When you're the chief of ops of the division, and I was the junior guy in the division staff, telling majors, lieutenant colonels, and colonels what to do. And so it does require a lot of diplomacy, and in some cases a lot of moral courage to be able to tell somebody, if I were in your shoes, this is exactly how I would approach that. And lo and behold, you wouldn't believe how many times that's exactly what they decided to do. Having been a class agent for 25 years, it's a long time, and my relationship with my brother rats is probably one of the most important things in my life. I mean, you could count maybe 1, 2, or 3, maybe 4 things that are so important, and that's up there at the top. I just can't begin to tell you when you actually see a brother rat you hadn't seen in a long time, you just happen to run into him somewhere. I mean, it's just, I can't begin to tell you how thrilling that is and how satisfying that is just to sit down and chat with that particular brother rat, just to catch up. I enjoy trying to keep my brother rats, tied in and whatnot. VMI 74!